Invite everybody.
All right, y'all. It's your boy Professor X with my one of my brothers in arms, brother Zargon Seven.
What's up, everybody?
All right,
I know it's late, so forgive me.
yeah, this is a spur of the moment. Hey, how you been, man?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm actually listening to music on Twitch. Y'all could probably hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't hear it, but anyway, if you know, if for those of you who watched us before, you notice it's usually three of us, but our other brother in arms, who I want to send a shout out to, brother Kid Stacy, he couldn't be with us this evening. Because he's handling family
Personal
business.
issues.
But
Personal
we want to
issues.
send him a shout out and wish him peace and blessings. Shout out to you, Kid Stacy. All right, this evening we're going to talk about some of the newest wrestling stories and some wild ones. Oh, Zargon, I wanted to get your thoughts on the first time I talk about. What do you think of whack ass wrestling entertainment bringing back Eva Marie of all people? Call it
I'm not
e-
surprised by it, to be
yeah,
perfectly honest.
evolution. I call it Eva pollution. That's my take on it. But go ahead.
I'm personally not surprised by it. This is what WWE does. They bring back a talent like Eva Marie, and it makes no sense as to why they would bring someone like her back. I mean, you could say it's just for looks and things like that, but WWE doesn't promote the stripping and all that other type of stuff that they used to. So Eva Marie is kind of pointless unless they decide to put her as a manager. Then, she's a manager, then, it may be different, but I don't know if she can even talk. Maybe she can give a superstar, I guess, that desperately needs a heel type of persona, and she can bring that attraction to them. Maybe if you team Eva Marie and Baron Corbin, that sounds like a match made in heaven because both of those characters generate a lot of heat. Like a lot of people don't like them, a lot of people can't stand them. And I could see that. You could have King Corbin, Queen Eva Marie. The people already don't like her, so that'll just give fans another reason to like hate her. So I think it could be something good. But as far as her in the ring, if she's trying to be an individual talent, I think that's a terrible idea. It's not going to go. They have plenty of people on the roster that's already on there and are not doing nothing with really. So adding Eva Marie, it would be a slap in the face to those talent there, and also it'll be a slap in the people who's sitting in catering. You know, because I don't think that's ever fun.
True. Now, in my opinion, I see no purpose for her, and all she's ever been is a poser. I mean, and
That's
that
it.
that first promo with her on top, with her posing on top of the car and standing around the car, I could already see that this was nothing to be excited about. I mean, if you're one of those who just lonely and likes watching pretty girls in the tight outfits on a car or whatever, that's for you. But to me, she's basically walking plastic surgery from top to bottom. Nothing real about her. And then the second one with her in the director's chair or in a makeup room and that kind of thing, basically trying to once again, are you ready for evolution? What evolution? I mean, I'm just, I call it pollution. And the thing is, she doesn't help the cause.
Oh, he said
Oh, what's that?
I'm bad you said pollution. I'm
That's what I'm saying.
done.
That's what I call it pollution. I mean, there's no purpose for her. I mean, she can't wrestle, she can't talk, and in Hollywood,
Exactly.
she couldn't act. I did a video on it already. I'm just
True.
so like I said, I don't see a purpose for Eva Pollution. She needs to go back to Hollywood, but of course, she couldn't make it there, so that's why she's back in WWE. Is because I guess
Of
she needs a
course.
job. She needs a job and needs some quick cash. But I just
Might be sucking the right thing, man. I'm just saying.
oh yeah, yeah,
I'm just saying.
she's definitely a sucking the mean one. She's probably sucking the hell out.
Yeah.
She's, she's probably sucking the hell out of those grapefruits. She's got to be. That's the only reason
Yeah.
why I think she's back because how Vince is, because Vince loves diva skanks. So that's a specialty. Why do you think the Bella skanks are going into the Hall of Fame, which is not deserving? But anyway, Eva Pollution. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not excited. Nothing to invest in. Not entertaining. So, like I said, see, her promos alone give you nothing to look forward to. It's just she's there. So okay, are you ready for Evolution? Now what? What are you going to give us? What are you going to do? I'm not going to
A
do shit.
strip tease, eye candy. That's the only thing you could really use her for.
Yeah, well, even
And
eye candy at this point is overrated. Like I said, once again, my opinion, just like Wind Tunnel. Now, Wind Tunnel is who I named Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. That's why I call them Wind Tunnel. You got two blondes in a tag team, a blonde tag team ear to ear. So you got two blondes ear to ear. What do you call that? A Wind Tunnel. So right there, that's why I call them a Wind Tunnel. You put them together, but again, it's not entertaining. So
oh
I'm
my
just
god,
that's what I'm saying.
but
That's what I call them, a wind tunnel. But okay, let's move on. Now, apparently, I got a story here. WWE has been working on a return for John Cena for some time now, and it's being discussed that he might return for the July 16th SmackDown, which is going to be the first show to welcome back fans in a long time. Now, again, even for John Cena, yeah, I don't see a purpose for him, especially since he's buried a couple of talents that I liked at one time. Doing storylines with him. So, and it's just, John Cena's been doing good on TBS with that stupid game show with him and that heavyset black chick, and of course he's basically going to be in that. He was also in Canada filming a Peacemaker spinoff from the DC movie come out with the Suicide Squad. So and after I saw the trailer for Suicide Squad, dude can't act. He's just terrible. Just like his first two movies. I saw 12 Rounds. I saw The Marine, of course. His first one.
Marine. I think the Marine is very underrated. I think
Well, it was good action. Yeah, but
like
it was good. It was good. It was good action movie. All the actors basically carried the movie, but like I said, he himself. I mean, yeah, he's got a look and got muscles, but that's it. He was very bland. It was nothing exciting at all. I mean, Roddy Piper was very much a better actor than he was. I think the best wrestling actor as far as I've seen come out of the generation was Roddy Piper, because when I saw They Live, I watched him in They Live, and I'm like, and you think of him and then Piper Spit, the wild eye and wild talk and everything, you didn't think that was the same person. I'm like, that's talent. See, that's something that Hogan didn't have. Because see, we when you saw No Holds Barred, you basically saw the same shit you saw on TV, but instead of red and yellow, it was blue and white. It was rip 'em, please. Now, so what are your thoughts on John Cena's impending return? Question mark.
I'm gonna say one thing. All this is a cash grab, a ratings grab. That's the only reason John Cena would be there. I mean, when you think about it, you have the audience there. Like you can't have a talent like John Cena in the WWE without an audience. That just feels weird. That's like having Brock Lesnar in a crowd. I mean, in a event or stadium or whatever with no audience there, no audience members. It just feels weird. So for them to bring John Cena back is just a ratings grab. They're probably trying to see how far they can get, how many eyeballs they can get watching the product, because John Cena is a household name and he's doing the Hollywood. So maybe he'll bring some of the Hollywood crowd over, kind of like The Rock a little bit, but on a smaller scale. That's the only thing I see personally. Other than that, I don't see the reason. And shout outs to them doing it on my mom's birthday, 2 days before mine though. But shout outs to them for that.
Okay, fair enough. Now, of what I've seen, it says this is probably just a one shot deal. This might not be a long term thing because he quietly left and retired because despite him being in shape, I'm guessing he's feeling his age with all the years. With all the years, yeah, with all the years and all the abuse his body's taken. So it's like anybody else, it's a time limit on that stuff, So I'm guessing it's a one shot deal, like I said, for a ratings grab, and the fans are back. So I don't think it's a long term thing. At least let's hope not. Okay, but next subject. This one you should like. If you saw this past fight on SmackDown, your boy is back, Aleister Black. He came back during the main event with the Fatal 4-Way main event for the Intercontinental title, and he basically before Big E could put away Apollo Crews, Aleister Black came out to a new entrance with smoke and everything. Came in the ring. Back kicked Big E and Apollo retained. So I know you're glad about this one. I'm glad to see him back. Like I say, the promo, Big Nets, the Dark Father, that kind of thing. To me, it seems a little seems a little like an Undertaker ripoff, but I guess that's something to invest in. I mean, to me, it's like this. When I heard him talking everything, it looked good. And plus he's a good wrestler, so because I want to see him become something. It's just why the hell did it take so long? But your thoughts on
Actually, I'm
your thoughts
surprised.
on his return.
I'm very surprised. I thought he would have been released. I thought he would have been future endeavored, because of the whole situation that happened with his wife. So to see Aleister Black, I mean, not the biggest fan of him, but I mean, hey, if it's a talent that a lot of people like and want to see him go far, I ain't got a problem. The only thing I really have a problem with is his finisher. I think that's a weak ass finisher. I mean, in real life, if you kick somebody in the face, that would hurt like hell. But just in the wrestling aspect, it just looked kind of weak. I wish he would get a new finisher. But if he's back and he's going to be having a program with Big E, I don't mind it because I think people look at Aleister Black as a serious character. And Big E, though he does the goofy shit, I do think Big E has his serious moments. So maybe those two can have a decent feud. Also you need to get Apollo away from Big E. You need Apollo to fight other people. So I think this is a good thing for Aleister Black and Big E.
Okay. Uh, Fair enough. Yeah, I'm glad to see Alistair back. Excuse me, Alistair Black. I'm glad to see he's back, and I hope they push him. And I'm glad he didn't get fired. I guess they were just. I guess maybe they were just punishing him for a while because that's what happened to Triple H. Years ago with the whole Click Curtain call, he was punished for a long time. All of a sudden, he started getting pushed. But of course,
Yeah, yeah.
Alistair Black isn't Triple Bitch. He's not kissing ass. He was just waiting for his chance. So I'm glad he's back, and I hope it's a good feud. I'm just glad, like I said, he's a good wrestler and he's entertaining and he can talk. So he's one of those few that have the it factor. It's just like Sting. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
Aleister Black can become something great if given the right packaging, the right storyline, and don't fuck it
I
up.
think any superstar can honestly be. I think any superstar can be that. Even the trashiest superstars can be that. It's just if WWE does things right and the fans like it, now they could do everything right. And if the fans reject it, then it's really nothing you could do. But if you do everything right and the fans are behind it, then I mean, sky's the limit.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the sky's all the limit. Yeah, it's just WWE does positive things very seldomly now. That's the problem. But hey, once again, it is what it is. Oh, what do you think of the latest releases of all the NXT cuts? And I was surprised at that because one of them was Ronda Rousey's good friend Jessamine Duke.
I have no
So
idea who that is. I don't know really what to say as far as she goes and the other people. I know somebody was saying the referee got released or something like that.
yeah, I'm
Um,
gonna get to that. Yeah, his name was Drake Wirtz because apparently let's go to him for a second. Reportedly, he was almost beat up. Walked out of a Triple H meeting about inclusion, nuclear heat backstage at WWE NXT.
wow.
Apparently, he had heat brought on himself after he was warned by WWE about attending events without a mask. There were said to be
Uh,
attempts for political plays where he tried to position himself for certain roles in the company. The word going around is that he was willing to put heat on others several times in order to get what he wanted. Also, he walked out during a speech that Triple H made to the roster about Black Lives Matter. They said he aggressively grabbed his stuff and walked out. So I guess he has some racism issues about himself, which is kind of funny since he looks tan skinned in this picture right here. I'm guessing he's maybe black and Indian or maybe something else. I don't know. But they said
wait.
he was unprofessional, and there were a lot of people that didn't like him, because of certain things he said, and I'm like, wow. So
Oh,
if Triple H
then that's
almost
not a bad release
go ahead,
then.
what do you say?
That's not a bad release. If you get heat backstage and people backstage don't like you and all of that, and you're not really drawing anything, and really people don't know who you are, really like that, yeah, I guess you would have to say, you're just gonna have to cut your ties with them.
That's true. Because yeah, there was it's all kinds of there's some other details here. I'm gonna try to find them. Okay, anyway, let's see. Up.
I was about to say any notable names that got released, like because I don't.
Okay, yeah. Here it is. Yeah, I have a list here. Drake Wirtz was released, of course. Alexander Wolf.
Heard of him before, but don't know who he is.
Yeah, Kavita Devi, Brandy Lauren, Skylar Story, Jake Clemens, Ezra Judge, Edge Nduka, Jessamine Duke, Vanessa Bourne, and Velveteen Dream.
Thank
And here's the
fucking.
thing. Hold on, yeah. His real name is Patrick Clark. Says he was described as the most unprofessional person to work with in wrestling.
God.
He was not popular among some people in WWE, but apparently he had issues with people outside of the company as well. A guy named Rob Schamberger, an artist who paints wrestlers for WWE and has his work featured in WWE Shop and WWE's auction site, says he did not have a good experience when he met the Velveteen Dream. He called the Dream the most unprofessional person he has dealt with in the wrestling business. He tweeted, without saying anything further, he was, of course, okay, yeah. Dream was released on Wednesday. He has not commented on his exit from the company, and it's not expected that we'll hear anything since his Twitter account was deleted a while back. Also, this comes from apparently him messaging some underage girls or something like that,
Yeah. That's why I
at the
said he
time.
can burn hell for all I care.
Yeah,
Release
so
the
yeah, go
release
ahead.
being released should be the least of his problems. Like seriously, it should be the least of his problems. I think personally he should be in prison for that type of stuff. And I know
Yeah,
there's
true.
people that's gonna defend him. And let's say the messages never got exposed. I probably would have gave him the benefit of the doubt because I'd have been like, look, there's no proof, nobody has nothing written on him or anything like that. But once I saw the messages, yeah, I was disgusted. This man basically Chris Benoit his own career, to be perfectly honest. That's the best way to explain it because like after everybody saw that, like mad people lost respect for him. A lot of people that I follow on Twitter lost respect for him. People that did vignettes about him, poses and all that, they all said fuck him. They deleted the skits that they did with him. Like I've never seen a guy be so popular at one point in time and then lose all of his fanfare like that. Like the fastest I've seen has been since Chris Benoit. Like a guy did a pretty much a 180 or 360, no 180 on his career. So Velveteen, you lucky you ain't in prison. And personally, you need your ass beat for messing with those underage kids because that's zero tolerance. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people that have a short no tolerance when it comes to that type of stuff. Like that shit, it really gets me upset and it really gets me angry. So that's all I'm gonna say. Because if I don't stop, I'm gonna go on a like massive rant, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna move on.
Okay. Okay, now here's the details on Drake again. It says he was released from NXT, and this came after many controversial stories. He reportedly walked out of Triple H's speech about Black Lives Matter following NXT takeover in your house. And now we have a bit more to that story. Okay, according to another report, Drake spoke up about the Black Lives Matter movement. He reportedly said that all lives matter in this situation, which is a phrase commonly used in resistance to the Black Lives Matter movement, as we've heard from the guy formerly known as Gunner, who amazingly kept his job after he said that. So you know what I'm talking about? The guy with the beard. He's on. They paired him with Elias. They call him something else now, but I forget. But because his tag team partner was fired, and he's by himself, so they put him with Elias. But it says many people were wearing
Right.
Black Lives Matter t-shirts.
Feet though.
Yeah, it says many people were wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts, and words said how everyone on the roster came from different backgrounds, had different religious beliefs. Should respect each other, but also said that all lives matter, which is not a term you're supposed to say because of all the heat it gets when there
That's
are.
just to be politically correct. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
have to say that. I have to say that.
Well, it
That's
got him out
just
of heat. This guy right here. Also, there were also some NXT wrestlers who refused to let him referee their matches. They didn't want to be around him since he is not vaccinated and is very outspoken against wearing masks. Oh yeah, that's also
I don't blame him for the
you know
mask thing. I hate wearing them fucking masks. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I hate wearing them things with the passion. It just like me, I can't breathe in that shit for one. Like it's just sucks the air out of me, and two, it just looks ridiculous with all of us walking around with this. Like this thing, this little not vaccine, this little COVID shit just came out of nowhere, and then suddenly it's the most dangerous thing on the planet. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but I understand why people may take precaution and do and use certain things for it. Other than that, I don't really care for it.
I got you. I like wearing the mask. I mean, I've had my first COVID shot. I get it. I get the second one the 29th of Saturday, but I like the mask because I don't want to catch any germs. I mean, that's just me. But I
That's
understand. Yeah,
understandable. But I'm
yeah.
saying we could disagree on that. I mean, it's not a
Of course, yeah.
problem, but
Yeah.
see
I
two
know.
different
I like
views on
it's just
it.
personally. Yeah, personally, I like the mask. That's just me. Getting back to the topics here. Okay, I got two here, two different versions here for Velveteen Dream. It says right here, it says WWE NXT superstars were uncomfortable complaining about Velveteen Dream due to his ties with management. So he had some pull with management.
So you just pissing off everybody, and then you mess with the underage kids. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't release him sooner. I'm sorry, I'm surprised they didn't release him sooner. I've seen superstars get released for less. So to have all of that, and I think the only reason why he probably stayed for so long is because he was popular. A lot of fans liked him, and I think that's honestly what kept him, despite maybe backstage heat with people. That's from my perspective. That's the only thing I could come up with. Because other than that, what could you really say on that?
True, yeah. And apparently, I have a list of here some of his. Apparently, he was released also for behavioral issues. That's why it says right here he's been making headlines and not for any reason he would like. Accusations about him resurfaced, and some fans believe WWE is sweeping them under the rug. That's not surprising. They they swept the pedophile activities of Pat Patterson under the rug, but that came to light when one guy's friend, well, his friend committed suicide. Of course, he came forward. So
I remember that video.
yeah,
I remember that video.
yeah. Because also, Dream says he admitted that the photo was of him, but he claimed that the photo was sent from his account without his consent. Those allegations went way after that. Says his initial accusers vanished. There are many reasons why such allegations can go away. Of course, yeah, that's I guess when you throw money at it, you know,
Exactly.
yeah. So also it says here he was involved in a car crash around the same time as Speaking Out movement. This was this was what Triple H claimed was the reason he was off NXT television. Okay, well, it doesn't list any of his other accusations, but I'm pretty sure somebody will talk about him sooner or later. But
Of
Velveteen
course.
Dream, like I said, I advocate for black wrestlers, but if you got these kind of issues, mental and physical, and you're doing dumb shit, yeah, you need to be
It's
gone.
not.
You don't need to be in the wrestling business. So I mean, so like I said, he was a star, had all star the line, and like I said, from what I've seen in the from what I've seen in the past on him, he was a good showman. I mean, he had all the cards. He was talented, and he was probably being groomed to come up to the main roster. But
Definitely.
when you like I said, when you decide to do dumb shit, and it repeats and repeats and repeats, and you compound the problem, and then pictures on the internet to your underage girl, and you're saying they
Right.
were sent without your consent. Okay, now how are they sent without his consent? Is what? Does somebody have your phone? No one's supposed to have your phone but you. No one's supposed to be messing with your phone except you. Same thing like years ago with Paige and her porno pictures and videos. It's like she says they got filmed and then somebody's released them out there when they shouldn't have. So did somebody have her phone? See, that's what I'm saying. See,
Yeah,
so
but see, most people like, okay, if his phone got taken away or his account got hacked, most people who get their accounts hacked normally say right away, my account's been hacked, yada yada, or somebody took my account or whatever. People make that type of stuff known. I've just had my Instagram account recently hacked just recently, and I had to make a whole new one. I put, my account's been hacked. Um, when you see this account such and such, report the page, and do whatever, but my account's been hacked. So if you see some stuff that's out of the norm, that is not from me, like, you would say something like that. You wouldn't just leave it up there. Like, that's just weird. I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not giving him no excuses on that. He was doing some shady shit. He tried to get away with it. He got caught. Oh well, get the fuck out.
True that. I believe that. Oh, let's move on to the Hitman. We've got an article here. Bret Hart calls Eric Bischoff a brainless idiot and unprovoked roast. Now that I see because I actually came across a video I saw from a site called, from a channel called Inside the Ropes, where he was talking about when Goldberg kicked him in the head and ended his career. He talked
Yeah,
about Bischoff saying he believes basically Bischoff was a puppet for Hogan in WCW all that time, and that's true because Hogan,
he
even
wasn't a
though
puppet. He wasn't a puppet.
I think he was because Bischoff catered to those guys the minute he came in. Because remember when they were having all that success for 88 weeks and the NWO formed
No,
and all
no,
that
no,
stuff. It's
no,
like,
no. I agree with you, but
yeah, I just believe Hogan, Scott Hall, and Nash got anything they wanted from him as far as
they did. But you're being
creatively.
nice about it. You're calling him a stooge. and
Well, he was
he
a huge for him. I mean, this is what Brett said. I agree with Brett as far as
Now we need a no. Brett is my second all time favorite superstar, so I
yeah,
agree with Bret Hart on Eric Bischoff being a complete idiot. But we need a different word for that. Like we need levels down. Like a stooge is just too nice. Like we got to go like complete fucking idiot, moron, whatever you want to go like down that line because he wasn't even a puppet. Like he was just basically. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm using a wrestling analogy. He is what Jay Uso is to Roman Reigns. Like he was his bitch. That's just really what he was. Like he was a bitch. Like anything the NWO said, Bischoff was like, yes, yes, yes.
mhm.
This motherfucker was having the Daniel Bryan yes movement to anything and everything that they said. And this guy comes off like he's supposed to be some creative genius. He only had one thing, the NWO, and he couldn't even keep that long enough. So I like how he likes to talk about how he beat WWE all the time in like 84 weeks or some shit like that. He likes to brag about. But outside of that, what other genius thing have you done? I mean,
Yeah,
seriously, what else have you done? And that's the part that get people, upset at me because I say stuff like that. And I'm like, sure, yeah, when he came to WWE, he was a Raw GM, which I actually like the evil Eric Bischoff character in WWE with the GM, and I actually like the theme song because I think it's a little catchy. But other than that, Bischoff wasn't really doing that. And you remember when WWE put Bischoff in the what was it, producer section or whatever? I think it was him and Heyman. How long did that last?
oh yeah,
I mean,
and that was on SmackDown. Yeah, that one that's like maybe like what
so
5 or 10 seconds.
exactly. So it was a
And
waste. So Bischoff is a fucking I don't know what to call it,
yeah, I remember
brainless.
that. No, he said he couldn't work on that. He didn't like it. That's why he was glad he was gone because the creative process. And thing is, I think he was also working with Dr. Tom Pritchard, aka Brother Love. He said the first days, the shit that went down and what they were doing wasn't what he was used to, or isn't how he worked. He can work like that. I think in WCW he had more freedom, creative freedom, because like I
Yeah,
said, he had
yeah,
to turn a checkbook, and he was one running the operation. And so as
yeah.
far as like I said, Hogan, Hall, and Nash, yeah, he created that and basically he gave them everything they wanted. But other than that, that's basically what beat WWE all those weeks. So and as far as creatively and everybody around him, I think he had too many hands in the cookie jar and people didn't know what to do. Now, getting back to Bret Hart, um, basically, if you're a fan, this is what a fan got from a video on Cameo. They paid it. It said right here, one fan bought a Cameo video from Bret Hart and asked the Hitman what went wrong in WCW. He was not shy about providing a very blunt reply in the
That's the
process.
one thing I love about Bret Hart.
He called Eric Bischoff a brainless idiot and accused him of ruining the operation. This Cameo video went viral and has been shared over the internet wrestling community. Needless to say,
Yeah.
Bret Hart hasn't gotten over his time in WCW. Says that here's his quote: "I wish I had some proper answers for you about what went wrong in WCW. All I can say is that they were just really stupid. Eric Bischoff was a brainless idiot, and they didn't know what to do with Bret Hart or Bret the
Nope.
Hitman Hart. They screwed up every single thing I ever did there, and I have very few good memories." I understand that. And also, like I said, it says right here, Bret Hart's in-ring career also came to an end in WCW after he took a kick to the head from Goldberg that caused a concussion. And that
Yep.
concussion, he said on the Inside the Rope video, he said that concussion later caused his stroke that he had on his bicycle when he was riding a bicycle
I
path.
believe it. I
And
believe
look
it.
at this. He even said Bill Goldberg never called him or asked him how he was or how he was doing. See, Bill Goldberg, even though as entertaining as he was and as bad as he was, he couldn't wrestle. So he should have learned better, as far as pulling kicks and punches. So see, Goldberg was kind of dangerous and reckless. So I agree with Brett there. And even
Some people feel he still is.
oh
Brother
yeah,
Bill.
and like I say, because he mentioned Goldberg's match in Saudi Arabia with the Undertaker, which was terrible by the way, which came off really bad. The way they moved and the way the match was booked and the way it ended. Yeah, so Goldberg deserved that. But Goldberg got paid $3 million, and Bret Hart said no. If Goldberg had thought of it, or had been more caring towards Bret Hart, I guess he'd send him maybe some of that money just to help him out. You know what I mean? But it's like
Send me some of that.
yeah, I'm a big fan of Goldberg. I liked him, but knowing this now, I kind of figured. No, I'm not shocked. No, I kind of figured even Goldberg, as nice as he seems to fans, he's probably a prick also. Behind the scenes in the way as far as ego. You know what I mean? So he's
Yeah,
he's he's probably not a nice
let
guy.
ego get the best of them.
I repeat that.
No, I said some people do let their ego get the best of them, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Bret Hart, who I've heard is a real nice guy to his fans, and he was a great wrestler, great wrestler. He's one in a million that can never be replaced, or he's one of those few millions that would never come along again. You know what I mean? That actually learned the art of wrestling, where he basically almost never injured anybody. He knew how to pull punches. He magic. He could pull punches, kicks. He knew how to wrestle, the technique and everything, and tell a story. As a wrestler is supposed to do.
Supposed
But
to.
yeah, that's the key word. I'm supposed to. Yeah. So, but being that as it may, uh, let's see. Well, on a side note, here's one story. I don't know how important this is. I found this. This was just posted. Mick Foley's daughter, Noelle Foley, is diagnosed with a rare hearing disorder, also struggling with post-concussion syndrome. Because remember when she was training to become a wrestler, when she suffered a concussion? It says right here.
All about that.
Yeah, she said. Here's her tweet following a quote. I've kept this to myself for quite some time because I honestly just didn't want to talk about it. But in February, I was clinically diagnosed with a rare hearing disorder known as hyperrhesusis or hyperrecusis. It's with a C. Hyperrhesusis.
That's it.
Yeah, hyperrhesusis is when you have an extremely low tolerance for noise and most sounds are physically painful. Her condition was brought on by my concussion in September 2019, and it was mild in the beginning, but unfortunately, it has gotten worse over time. I have had several horrible setbacks in my recovery due to sounds, making it feel like my full recovery is light years away. If any of you are living with this condition, you know darn well that it is an extremely debilitating condition to live with. It's recently been severely affecting my everyday life, from grocery shopping, driving, restaurants, and even just being around people, including my family.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
boy. She says she also struggles with tinnitus, which is pulsatile, and phonophobia and misophonia. So there's a lot going on in these little ears of mine. Well, technically my brain, because that's where it all stems from.
that's true.
Ugh, yeah. Well,
She would
we
have to get
here.
that checked though and
Yeah.
see like
Well,
exactly
yeah.
what it is.
Yep. Yeah. Well, us here also wish Noelle Foley well in a full recovery. Hey, so, what are your thoughts on that? See, at one point, in the beginning, before she started training for wrestling, Mick Foley didn't want her in the business, but she wanted to get into it and see it's not for everybody. See, if and she was in the NXT developmental in the performance center at one time, so she got concussion even during training. So see, that shows you right there, it's not good for everybody. And see,
Your body got to get used. Your body got to get used to that type of beating, and her career is basically done for. If she has
well, she never
something
had it
like
for her.
that
Yeah,
that
she never
affects
got
her,
past. Yeah, she never got
yeah,
past the training stage. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
that sucks, man. Because every day, like me, I like to listen to music and things like that. Like if I had to where sound was like affecting me, I couldn't listen to music. Yeah, I'd be a bothered soul. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd be bothered. Then you can say everyday things because let's say you go into a supermarket first, say, and sometimes supermarkets may be a bit loud because you have a lot of people in there, and that sound can probably make you faint or something like that. And you don't want to be in a supermarket passing out and things like that. So I think she got to be really really careful, and she has to take her um she has to take that type of stuff serious. Like I think she should take that type of stuff serious, just so just so she can be safe. I wish her the best, but that sucks. All right, can
Well,
y'all
yeah.
stop
See,
drinking?
I'm thinking she was injured probably by a trainee who probably kicked her too hard or did a move wrong. See, when it comes to training,
Shit, it was
when
probably
training,
Goldberg.
yeah. Well, I don't know if he was there. I hope not. Yeah, but I'm thinking it's probably one of them. You know what? Since she was in the performance center, who knows? It could have been Nia
Eva
Jax.
Marie.
I'm
Oh
not
my
thinking it could have been Nia Jax for all we know. I think she was still in the performance center too at the time. It might have been her that
god.
injured her. Wouldn't that be obviously an obvious
Oh my
big
god.
big as she is?
Do
But
you
yeah,
know that
when you look at
shoot, yeah.
Noelle Foley, I mean, she's very attractive, no blonde hair, very attractive, and she's delicate. So yeah, she shouldn't have been there in the first place. I mean, you got to be built for it too, as well as even man or woman. You got to be built to take that kind of punishment. So but that's just me, and that's just that's just my take.
He
Oh,
definitely
and one last note on Bret Hart. He says he's had a lot of anger over the years about not just the WC thing because they didn't use him right, and he said he left, but he didn't left. I remember he said he was sent a FedEx fax of his release.
wow.
And they're saying Bischoff might have a retort for that Brandon Idiot comment somewhere down the road. But it says, who do you think is to blame for Bret Hart's failed WCW run? So I would say Bischoff and all of management. I
Every,
guess.
everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah,
Especially
Goldberg.
when you have
Yeah,
somebody coming in that hot.
yep.
Immediately you should have done something with him immediately. Look who we got, the hottest guy in wrestling, Bret Hart, and it came off of a controversial thing that happened in another company, whatever. Man, y'all could have did so much with him.
Really,
Could have.
yeah, yeah. You could have a few. He said on the video, he said they were trying to they could have set up or worked a feud with Hogan at one point, but never got the chance. Anyway, let's move on. I saw an article here on Maria Kanellis. She blasts WWE over not paying her enough and refusing to get her a raise for over 5 years.
Man.
It says Maria and her cousin Mike Bennett, were released in WWE on April 2020. The thing is, earlier in that same year, they were resigned by the company, I think, for a little more money. But
I thought they were.
yeah, no, they were. But Mike Bennett didn't like his run, or he didn't like his spot, and then all of a sudden
Nobody liked it.
he went to them and asked for his release. I
No,
remember that. See, I'm thinking you asked for your release months after you resigned. So why did you? I'm thinking, why did you resign? But whatever. So, but here's it says both of them eventually returned to Ring of Honor. Maria Kanellis was also grateful to WWE for providing them with an opportunity to work for the company. And it says, while she was speaking on a podcast, says she talked about her initial run in WWE that lasted from 2005 to 2010. That was her first run years ago when she was playing, playing the idiot role. Oh, and
yeah,
I found this out. I didn't know she was trying to get into music. She was saying she released on February 2010, and right after that, that was when she was released the first time. She released a musical EP called Seven Sins. Oh, okay. She was trying to sing. I don't want to hear that. I can only imagine how her voice sounds. I mean, I can try to find it. It says right here, Maria Kanellis didn't like how WWE tried to take control of her project and believes WWE still does such practices with its third-party sites ban. She added that WWE refused to give her a raise when she asked for one, despite working for several years. Here's a quote: they've always been that way about your personal projects, and now it's really starting to come to light with Twitch and with Cameo and all that kind of stuff. But even back then, when it came to my music or me trying to go and do acting things or even going on auditions, WWE wanted to have control over that. And I wasn't interested in that, especially with how much they wanted to pay me. I hadn't had a raise in 5.5 years, so I asked for a raise, and then they didn't want to give me one. So it was just weird that I was working just as much as the top guys were, but I wasn't even paid 1/10 what they were. For me, it just wasn't reasonable. Like, you shouldn't stay in a relationship that is just so one-sided, and that's how it felt for me was just them taking from me while I wasn't getting enough in return. I mean, it just wasn't a favorable time in my life financially or just like personally. Says right here, she's content on working in Ring of Honor right now, but she'll always be grateful for her time in WWE. However, it is unlikely she'll return to the company anytime soon. I guess not. But the thing is, she should have known, as all people are, the women never get paid what the men get paid. And the thing is, you get paid based on your worth and how much you draw, as we all know, and also politics. So, see, I mean, look at Triple Bitch. Look at what he went through, got punished, and look at where he is now. He started marrying the boss's daughter behind his ex-girlfriend's back. And after they got married, his new wife ousted China from the company. And now Triple Bitch has the keys to the throne because now he's the executive COO and probably more now. He created NXT. So when Vince passes away, him and Seth are going to basically be running that empire. So
But the thing I gotta ask though, okay, so if Vince passes away, how many policies that Vince McMahon has that Triple H and Stephanie is gonna let go by? Like, are they gonna try to have everybody hog-tied, like walking around on eggshells, or are they gonna actually loosen up and let people, even though their career may not pan out in the WWE, they can still have opportunities elsewhere? Like, let's say I'm like a bodybuilder type guy, like my physique is crazy, right? Maybe like a Cesaro. Let's bring him because he's the guy that got a championship match recently.
Yeah,
let's say I'm a guy like Cesaro. So my physique is really good, and let's say a magazine wants to, do a photo shoot with me because of my physique. Is WWE gonna allow somebody like Cesaro to go there and venture those other business aspects, or they're gonna say no, Cesaro, you can't go, but we're gonna put John Cena on his cover instead? And instead of working with Cesaro, let's work with John Cena instead. Like, are they gonna do tick for tack stuff like that, or are they just gonna let people do what they do? Because I remember JTG even mentioning certain things that they would do in the company that was just weird. Like, I remember him saying, I'm trying to remember, was it part one or part two? I think it might have been part two about the headphones. It was Beats headphones, I think, at the time, or it was a headphone of some sort, and basically the top guys had to get it first, the headphones first, and then everybody else just kind of had to wait their turn, I guess. So is it going to be understand, your top guys are, drawing money for you and things like that, but are people who's on the lower totem pole, not because, they're not that talented, but because how the company positions them, are those guys going to still be able to get opportunities elsewhere? So that's what I'm on. I'm not saying Maria should be paid like a Rock or a Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But if she's putting things out there and people are buying it, and she's selling a lot of things and putting her face out there and really getting out, like exposure. If she wants a certain type of money, then I don't see what the issue is. But as far as that storyline goes with her and Mike Bennett, that storyline was horrible. They should have never did that shit. That shit was terrible.
Of course, yeah, especially with the pregnancy angle too. See, I just think when it comes to being pregnant,
emasculating thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. That shit was embarrassing. I say, who wrote this? Stephanie McMahon? Because you know how much of a feminist she is. Oh my god, I said this got feminism written all over it.
Really, it does. The thing is, yeah. And the thing is, if you're really pregnant, I wouldn't use that in a storyline. I mean, that's just some things you shouldn't use in a storyline, and it makes the whole, the concept of the aura of natural life being created and born and ready to be born look bad. I mean, the thing is, we know we all know how sleazy Vince is, so he uses anything for a storyline that he thinks will grab ratings. That's why he did this. So, and then or her degrading her husband, that kind of BS and everything, And like I said, she worked for him and she did it, so she had to do it. But it wasn't even from 2005 to 2010. It wasn't like Maria was a draw, because look at her first role character playing a retard basically, and even all shot like, oh, what's that? To me, she was doomed right there. And even when she got in the ring, she couldn't wrestle. Like I said, all she was eye candy. She's been in Playboy too. She was eye candy, playing a retard. you're not going to be a draw for very long. I mean, it's funny for a little while, but then after a while, it's going to get okay. This is annoying. Let's move on. So you,
Well, it
you know,
depends. I mean, I'm not
yeah,
saying it has to be long term, but I mean, even in that playing, that type of role, she actually did pretty well in that role. Like,
she did pretty well, but see,
I
that
have
role
to give her credit.
is going to get you into main event status. That's what I'm saying. See, and see,
No, 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 no.
yeah, she probably going
But
to
she wasn't a wrestler, so she
right.
wasn't
Yes,
the one, in the ring wrestling like that. So that, I mean, she could go somewhat far with it. Like, I mean, look at Eugene. I mean,
I was surprised he was around as long as he was. I remember Eugene. Yeah. Now the thing is, he was kind of funny with his. So I was also looking at him, and you can tell he wasn't going to get a push. He was just going to remain mid card.
main event status, but I still think they could have did more with him. They still could have elevated him and pushed him up there.
I don't see that. Not the type of character he was. I don't see him elevate because see Vince is going to elevate that type of character, and that type of character is going to draw money. At least to
Even
me, anyway.
and nowadays, a character like that can draw. You could make a character like that draw nowadays, especially with the all awareness days and things like that they
Yeah,
got
maybe
going
now,
on.
yeah, but back,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, yeah, they can market off of shit like that. Like, oh,
yeah,
this, we got a wrestler that's such like this. Like, you could do it. And they got the be a star type of thing, type of shit. So a character like Eugene could make money today if the person's dedicated to that type of role. I'm not
that's true.
expecting
Yeah,
them to be like a WWE World Champion, but they could at least be a Intercontinental, a US champion, a tag team champion. They could be somewhere along those lines. Now, if they win the world champion, that would be crazy. But I mean, that's WWE.
yeah, true. Yeah, I want to say shout out to the chat a little bit here. Peace and blessings to Eric, to brother Melendez Battle. What's up? Sherman O. Scott, and also what's up to Bloodsport 11. Also, what's up to NY Finance? How y'all doing tonight? Anyway, yeah, Bloodsport. Eugene was a good wrestler, but like I said, the character was going to get pushed any farther than Vince allowed. Like I said, it was at the time. Now he could probably do a lot now, and also like you remember the kid with the one leg? I forget his name, but I remember
Oh
the kid
yeah,
with the one leg.
Jack
Yeah,
yeah.
he was pretty good, So, but also I didn't see him going any farther than
No, I wouldn't see him as a world champion. I put him in that tag team mid card type. Like he could win the championship at least once. I could see him in that. I mean, even you can even have him like in a 24/7 type of champion because they still got that belt. I know it's not the best belt in the world, but I mean, you could still use a guy like Zach Gowen or Eugene or whoever for that type of
that was
role.
his name,
So
Zach Gowen. Zach,
yeah,
I forgot his name. I forget his name because it was so long ago. Yeah,
no,
but
I
so,
know because he retweeted me like I think like a couple of years ago. Something I wrote. So he
that's
retweeted me. That's
cool.
why I remember his name.
Okay, so your thoughts on Maria Kanellis? Do you think she deserves a raise? I mean, I understand her gripe as far as women and men, but I also look at WWE as a business. See, it's the
I have
business.
to. Okay, so the first thing is as far as a raise, how much is he asking for? That's always the
Probably
first
twice
question.
for what she was getting paid. She didn't say that. I noticed she didn't list numbers, so I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
she's
what
gonna
I'm
get it.
saying.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
can I get like a 10%, like a 15, maybe? Up it up a
but see,
little bit,
she
something like
and
that.
the thing is, she's asking for money that basically doesn't reflect her value to the company. See, I see her point of view, but you got to see the company's point of view. See, and this is what's slimy. And like I said, not because she's a woman, because it's got to be ticket draw. She's not a wrestler, like you said. She's not a wrestler. She's not a wrestler. She was an interviewer and all these comedy roles, and even right off the bat, she was good looking, she's attractive, yeah. But like I said, see, this role is going to elevate her no farther than what. And like I said, it's just cheap. It's comic relief. It's cheap comedy. And no one is going to pay the money to see just cheap comedy. They want to pay to see a good main event
I
match
think,
and a good fight and that kind of thing. Hey, go
I
ahead.
think, I think, oh, I think probably she probably wanted to raise, well, because one, she been there, previously, but I think also because she has kids. So I think when you have like kids, it kind of changes the game a bit. So you're trying to get as much money as you can. If you can get a little bit extra out from the company, just to have, just to save, just to take care of your kids, I can't be mad at her for that. But it's like you said, it's a business at the same time. So if you're not drawing that type of money, then it's unfortunate. It sucks, but I guess it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if Maria, well, at least Maria is somewhere where she's happy. You see, to me, the smaller companies are better these days for talent who wants to work.
Think that
So
way.
I'm just saying. But anyway, let's go to something like here personal. Do you remember Brian Christopher when he passed away? Right here,
Yeah.
multi-million-dollar lawsuit over Brian Christopher's death headed for a jury trial. It says right here, he passed away while in police custody in 2018. It says, but that terrible situation is far from over for Jerry Lawler. He filed a $3 million lawsuit, and now it will move to the next step. It says, according to another report, Jerry Lawler's lawsuit against Hardeman County, Tennessee, over the death of Brian Lawler will continue. The lawsuit is making its way toward a jury trial scheduled for May 23rd, 2022. Jerry Lawler has over a year to prepare for that trial. Odds are he would have received an earlier date if not for the pandemic gumming up the legal system in such a bad way. He said Brian Lawler was incarcerated for a DUI arrest in 2018. He was alleged that he committed suicide by hanging, but there is plenty of evidence to support that foul play is a possibility. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, it says Jerry Lawler's attorney, Jeffrey Rosenblum, told TMZ that Brian Christopher was attacked by an inmate and he suffered a head injury, a gash over his left eye, and a possible concussion. However, he was refused medical services. Oh, that should be an open and shut case of serious negligence, and every person in that at that branch or at that facility ought to be put in jail. I mean, what kind of shit is that? You don't. Well, but anyway, it says instead Lawler was allegedly placed in solitary confinement with his shoes and shoelaces, and the cell had two large bolts sticking out of a high point on one of the cell walls. Lawler is seeking $3 million in damages and compensatory damages if the court sees fit. He's also seeking a court order forcing Hardeman County to force immediate changes to prevent any future tragedies like this from happening. Wow.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen at all. Then you got to look at the facility as to where he was. You got to look at where his body was, what was holding him. Like you got to look at all of that type of stuff. And if it looks fishy, and if Brian, aka Grandmaster Sexay, wasn't the type to do that, then that's definitely red flags. And I don't blame Jerry Lawler one bit for suing him for that. Putting a lawsuit on him. He need to do more. He need to add more personally.
Of course, yeah, $3 million. That's not enough. But to me, I would ask for at least. I would ask for at least 20. Oh, actually, if you think about it, you can't put a price on life, But I would, as far as since it was his son, I would ask for probably 50 or 100 million because that was his son's life. They could have saved him if if they were professional. I don't know, but see, it seems like some of these counties in the police custody is like he must have got caught up in a bad facility. So I think it was more than just the inmate. I think the inmate, even though the inmate might have jumped him and hurt him, by him being denied medical attention, that's almost the same as
That's what I'm saying. That's the negligence part that
an accomplice to the assault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
It could also be a hit on him though.
Yeah, but for what? Yeah.
An inside job hit though. It could be that as well. Like one of the guards may be like, "Oh, I don't like this motherfucker." Get one of the inmates. We're gonna put a hit out on him. I mean, I don't know if anybody ever seen this movie, and I know it's a movie, but look at Blood and Bones with Michael J. White. In the beginning, the guards was paying the dudes that was trying to jump Michael J. White in the beginning, and Michael J. White, kind of whooped all their asses. It was pretty entertaining. But just think of that. I think stuff like that goes on in prisons every day. Like, even though the inmates and the guards, may have conflict with each other, but I think if the guards have a real conflict with somebody and they know the inmates don't like that person, I could see the guards sending it like, "Yo, we're gonna put a hit out on this inmate right here. Y'all do what y'all do." Especially if you got a inmate that's in there for life. An inmate who's in there for life has nothing to lose. What are you gonna do? Add another life sentence to what I got? So I think it sounds like a hit to me. That's just my personal opinion. And then to deny them medical attention, that definitely says a hit. It has it written all over it.
Yeah, it probably was a hit then. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, now next on the menu, we have here's the thing: WWE targeting cities with relaxed COVID safety measures for next tour locations. WWE announced a 25 city tour yesterday, their official return to the road. That was a big announcement, but they only dropped the first 3 cities. More are coming, and the company is looking at specific areas. Director of live events Adam Pearce wasn't on SmackDown this week, as Sonya Deville said he is out scouting locations. Yeah, I guess so. He also tweeted out after WWE's big announcement that he is on the search for the company's next destinations. According to a report, WWE is currently eyeing markets where COVID-19 safety regulations aren't strict anymore. The Southwest and Florida seem to be key options for them at this time. Says it
Oh,
is
definitely Florida.
yeah, it
That's
is
where they got
expected.
away from
Yeah,
that shit to begin with. So I expect Florida.
it is expected that many, if not all, of the events will take place in markets where, safety rules have started to become more relaxed. The Southwest and Florida seem most likely for the future events, but we've heard Iowa and Pennsylvania have been bandied about as well.
Okay. No,
Okay.
New York ain't being one of them fucking places. I'll tell you that much.
I got you. Here's one more thing. WWE called Florida their home during the pandemic because Governor Ron DeSantis, I remember this, declared pro wrestling and any other entertainment industry as an essential service. Bullshit. This came
Bullshit.
one day after Linda McMahon promised millions to the state through her Trump's Super PAC. I remember that.
I wonder who dick she sucked for that shit.
Well, as far as Linda McMahon goes, I guess she might have gone that route since her husband's been cheating on her for years with the Diva Skanks, but that's another story. But anyway, yeah, to me, wrestling and entertainment is not an essential thing. I mean, I've said in countless videos, WWE doing, especially at the Performance Center, where there have been 5 breakouts of COVID-19, contractions and everything over and over again, but they still kept filming it and still kept going. So, but yeah, now it's their target cities where it's relaxed. See, here's the scary part: this vaccine, despite it being out there, does not make you bulletproof. I don't care if you're fully vaccinated; it's not bulletproof. The minute they hold live events with fans, I'm not, I'm not going to be surprised if we have reports in those same states later in the news about COVID cases rising again. And God help the wrestlers if they catch something from a fan out there. So I'm just saying, once again, vaccine does not make you bulletproof. I don't care where you go or who you are or if you're fully vaccinated. Okay, but that's just my opinion. So, what are your thoughts on WWE now having back the so-called WWE universe?
I think they'll have them there. I think they'll kind of do what they did with NXT, where they have like the gates and stuff like that. And I don't think they're gonna have like the wrestlers going into the crowds like certain matches. Let's say it's like a no DQ match or whatever. I don't think they're gonna have the wrestlers outside in with the crowds with the people. And also, how many people are they gonna allow in these events? Like they could have a big stadium, but they only have like a certain amount of fans in these events. So how many people are they gonna allow, and how they gonna do the seating? You got to look at all of that stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Well, like I say, I wish them I wish them luck, and I hope nobody catches anything, fan or wrestler. So
That's
it's just
true.
to me, you know, just be careful. Oh, one more thing. We got to talk about WrestleMania Backlash for a second. You know what? I love wrestling for years, but the whole zombie thing when it came to the Miz and Priest, that was a new low for WWE. And I found out now, Booker T recognized saying one of those zombies was actually a wrestler from back in the day during the Attitude Era. He said he's not gonna say who it is, but he had to watch him and recognize him. But the Miz being eaten up by zombies, which was obviously a fake, which he wasn't. He just taking time off because apparently he tore his ACL, so he's out with an injury. But zombies, that was a new low. That was just terrible.
Was it some like if it was Halloween? Okay, I can understand it. Are they trying to promote a movie or something?
Yeah, Batista's movie, The Army of the Dead, which is on Netflix now as well as theaters. See, that was a favorite. That was a favorite. That was a favorite. That was a favorite for Batista. Batista's in the movie
So
killing zombies. So Yeah.
So they're gonna have a movie in regards to that, and then have the Miz be a part of that. Who's feuding with the Miz? What's that pretty boy?
Yes, this guy named Priest. He's dark skinned. He was one. He was one that was accompanying
Yeah,
Bad Bunny all that time, when Bad Bunny was before WrestleMania.
yeah, that dumb shit.
Yeah,
WWE is fucked up. Now that you say that, I think about wow. So they got Batista promoting a new movie, right? In
yeah.
regards to this,
That was the whole point of
they're gonna
the zombies.
they have the zombies, and then they have the Miz involved. Which who's the Miz's tag team partner? John
John Morrison.
Morrison.
Yep.
John Morrison, Batista, Melina. That's all I'm gonna say. Wow, WWE, that's fucked up.
And the funny thing is, after Miz lost the match, that's when the zombies came in to eat him. And see, and what it is, the zombies were lumberjacks. It was a zombie lumberjack match. I watched the show. I'm like, oh my gosh. They actually went this route. See, that's okay, but when it comes to movies like Resident Evil, Dawn of the Dead, that's zombies are cool. They're awesome because you have makeup and they look scary, and they look realistic. But it's not. It doesn't fit in wrestling. I mean, come on now.
Oh no, unless you're trying to do some thriller dance, hell no.
That'd been even worse. I wouldn't. I would. But well, I don't know. I mean, to hear Michael Jackson's Thriller. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
go ahead.
because remember I know there was a video with a Michael Jackson character, like a character was doing Michael Jackson moves and stuff like if you had
Yeah.
a Michael Jackson like character and he came out with the zombies doing a thriller dance, okay, that'd be something a little cheesy, a little corny, but I can understand it. But to have lumberjacks be zombies, I mean seriously. And ain't we supposed to be having all these COVID precautions, but we're having zombies out here? Are they immune to it or something? Is that what it is? Is that the route we're going with WWE? That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like.
Apparently, yeah. So see, between that, you're bringing back Eva Marie, and so it's to me, it's just dark days ahead. I don't care,
That bitch is a zombie herself. She should have been out there.
Yeah, and then you're bringing back John Cena for a one shot deal. So to me, there's nothing that WWE can do to even fix their situation. I mean, I think the only reason why they're on the air is because of finance. They're financially sound, so they could care less about ratings. It's about money. See, as long as the networks and the network executives, Fox and USA, are pleased, WWE, the shows aren't going anywhere. But as far as the fans, yeah, the shows suck. Like I said, on Monday nights, if you got to work in the morning, put on Raw and you'll fall asleep real quick. Because a lot of times I would turn off Raw even before the main event because it was so bad. That's how bad it was. I would actually turn to something else.
I hear people roast Raw like every week. Like they roast it like I'm not watching like a video or anything like that. I'm just listening. I'm not listening. Just watching people on Twitter, watching people on Facebook. They're just going in on it and just roasting Raw like left and right. Like it's actually funnier to see the fans' reaction to Raw than it is to probably sit there and watch it. But I don't watch it. I said I was done, so I just kind of sit there and laugh at people, what they writing on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, like I said, I'm just saying, I wish, I wish Raw, I wish WWE best of luck when it comes to, live fans and the storylines, all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, hey,
That's true.
it is what it is. But like I said, I don't see anything good coming out of this. Now AEW is looking good, of course, still. Although I can't wait for a Double or Nothing because you got a rematch between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, so that should be good. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that looks good. Oh, here's something else. Hold on, let me see if I have it up too. Yeah, apparently, here's something that I never heard before, which is right here. Radio host quits show rather than stopping jokes about Demi Lovato being non-binary. Now, non-binary. Now, what is that in reference to? I wonder. I'm guessing I'm guessing that has something to do with her sexuality or her sexual preference. Maybe I don't know.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, but anyway, no. This has to do with Road Dogg. Road Dogg makes controversial statement about Demi Lovato's non-binary announcement. I don't even know who she is, but it was Road Dogg, so that's why I chose the topic. Okay. Demo Lovato announced that she is non-binary, and plenty of fans flocked around to support her. Others had a different opinion, and one of those people is apparently a Road Dogg. The Hall of Famer commented on a post about how Boston radio DJ Maddie Siegel, co-host of the Maddie in the Morning show on WXKS-FM radio, walked off the show he hosted since 1981 when he was told that he couldn't joke about Demi's non-binary status. Road Dogg commented back to an article on Facebook about Seagal's walkout while saying, "Good for him. We have to be bold and stand up against the secularism." The David Bixen fan shared a screenshot of this post after verifying that it was written by Road Dogg. This also falls in line with the previous post from Road Dogg. Okay. Well, for one thing, I'm gonna see what non-binary means. Maybe something has to be something about,
I guess you don't identify like you're an unidentified person, like
or like it's
like
or like it's I'm thinking it has something. I'm guessing it has something to do with religion. Oh, hold on, here it is.
Okay, sounds weird as hell.
Hold on, no, you know what it is? Non-binary or gender queer is an umbrella term for gender identities that are neither male nor female. Identities that are outside the gender binary. Whoa, okay. Now we get it. You know what? If you know who actor if you know who actor Ellen Page is, you know what I'm talking about? Ellen Page. Okay, do you remember a movie called Juno? She's been in a lot of movies. She was in Juno. Yeah, she was. That was her in there. She's like a teenage girl pregnant because her teenage classmate got her pregnant. She's been in a movie called about road derby called Whip It, and she was also in a sci-fi thriller movie called Inception with a dude from like I said, she's short. Yeah, I got a picture. But the thing is, everyone since her name was Ellen Page at one time, years later she's come out and confessed that she was lesbian. So she came out as lesbian. But now you know what's happened now? She's changed the name from Ellen Page to Elliot Page because now she's declaring herself, even though she was born female, she's declaring herself a male.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, okay, how do you declare now, even though and the thing is, she's married to a woman, and this is when she declared herself a male. So it went from Ellen Page to Elliot Page. Now, you were born female because if you look at her movies, she had long hair, and she had a very feminine voice. She was female. Now, if you're married to a woman and declaring yourself a male, you still don't have a private parts, a male private part. So how does that work? Unless she puts on a strap on. That's what I'm guessing at this point.
This is some confusing ass shit.
That's what it says. So apparently, this Demo Lovato is not declaring herself neither male or female. Now,
so what are they? China?
I don't know, but I'm saying God made you a male or female, so you have so you have to be something. You can't be in between, and you can't be only in the cartoons or something like that. You can be something other than a man and woman. But it was like if you remember Ellen Page, have you ever seen the X-Men movies? Any of the X-Men movies?
Damn, I don't know.
Okay, do you remember X-Men Last Stand? She actually played the good X-Men, the one that can run through walls. Shadow Cat, Shadow Cat or something like that.
Oh, I thought it was Kitty something. I don't know.
Yeah, Kitty Pryde. That's it. Same thing. Kitty Pryde, Shadow Cat. Yeah, that's her. That's Ellen Page. Now Elliot Page. So she apparently she is non-binary. So I just looked it up. I say, okay, that now I see why Road Dogg made the comment he made, and rightfully so. So see, the thing is, this is what's going to be confusing to fans and future generations growing up. God made you a man or woman. You're supposed to accept what God made you and not try to be something else. I mean, I know, yes, you can go the route of plastic surgery, which is a lot of people have done. I mean, look at Nyla Rose in the AEW. That's a Jim Ross announced the surge. She's the first transgender world champion that AEW has. But it's women. Go ahead.
No, really?
Yeah, remember? You can tell. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell by the face. Yeah, there. Nyla Rose.
I never noticed. I mean, she's not one of the people that I found appealing, but I just thought it It was a
No,
female
no,
wrestler.
no,
Man,
that's a tranny. It's the one that Vicky
my
Guerrero
girl,
managed. It's just
my
tranny,
girl, my
yeah.
girl is Big Swole. That's one of the people I care for in
Well, Big
AEW.
Swole is an actual female, but Nyla
Of
Rose
course,
is a
of
tranny.
course, yeah.
But at one point, Nyla Rose was actually the women's AEW women's champion, which was kind of goes against the concept of a real women's champion, you know. And the fact that she's bigger, she's the biggest woman in the biggest woman in the
Santino got
locker
the
room.
women's championship too, or Divas Battle Royal or whatever.
Yeah. Her and when Awesome Kong still wrestled there before she got injured, her and Kong were the two biggest ones, but Kong got injured and she retired, so she's been long gone. That was like maybe over 2.5 years ago.
I
But
love
like I'm
Awesome.
saying,
She's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, Nyla Rose is a tranny, yeah. But I'm saying,
That
the point I'm trying to make is every person is supposed to be happy with what God made you. You know what I mean? If you're born a man, you should be a man. I
But
don't
they
care
have
what
to
your feelings are.
expect. They have
Oh,
to
go ahead.
expect this type of thing. They have to expect this type of thing from Road Dogg. Road Dogg is like an old school type guy, so they can't just expect him to just, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a go along to get along type person. Like, that's not who Road Dogg is. That's not how a lot of these old school guys are or girls. That's not how they are. So they're not gonna just sit there and say, oh, because you said this, I'm suddenly gonna follow the trend. I'm not gonna fall in line and follow after this. So that's probably where the heat is coming from. Because nowadays you have to be politically correct about everything.
Yeah,
So
politically correct / LGBT. See, that's the movement. See, because it's supposed to be for LGBT rights. I understand that, and like I said, everyone's free to make their own choices. But my whole point was always, if you weren't so into me deep down, I just think all these people were deep down were very insecure as children because I don't care what your feelings were. God made you a certain way. You should be happy with what God made you. And if all of them knew God, you know, like me and you do, and are secure with what we are, and who we were made to be, you know, it wouldn't be this all this. And the thing is, like I said, see, you got gay men who are married and are adopting children. Same thing with lesbian women adopting children. Think about all the confusion and how them children are going to feel and how they're going to be looked at and treated when they come up in the school system and just in the system. They're going to be they're going to be confused. See, that's the problem right there is the future generations of children. We don't want children growing up thinking it's okay to change, your gender or do this, that, and other thing to yourself to make yourself this and that. You know what I mean? Instead of being what God made you.
but personally, they're encouraging that shit. They look at Dwayne Wade's son. I'm not even gonna go further into that. That's all I'm gonna say. They're encouraging that type of behavior.
Yeah. So see, and it's not cool. So
If you're 18 and over and you want to do that, fine. But if you like 12, 13 years old and you talking about that, get the fuck out of here. And that's all I'm gonna say on that matter.
I
I
got you.
think it, I think it's ridiculous.
It is. That's well, we've covered all the topics. Is there anything more you want to talk about? If you got something or
Uh, no, not really. Only thing that seems interesting, at least in wrestling, seems to be Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. The only thing that I hear about the most, as being entertaining as far as wrestling goes. People are happy that Bobby Lashley is champion, but I don't hear Bobby Lashley enough.
that's true. And my whole opinion is, I say I'm gonna try to buy a shirt before they disappear. I mean, I got to. That's just me. I'm gonna try to buy a Hurt Business T-shirt.
I've
Oh, go
been
ahead.
trying so hard, but they don't have my size. All I keep seeing is small and mediums. That's all I keep seeing is small and mediums. That's
You might,
it. Every time I go
I
on
think you might buy
WWE,
one maybe from a different site. Sometimes you got sites who sell them, they're licensed. So if you're looking for a double
oh,
XL or 3XL, I would look there.
okay, I try to see if I can find an alternate site because yeah, that kind of sucks. I did want a shirt.
Oh, also on one side note, look at this. There's a photo of Mark Henry who's slim and trim. He says he's got 20 pounds to go. He's trying to train for an
What?
in-ring return.
No, Mark, please, no, no. If
So we
if he
might
if he
see.
if he's doing a one match, to retire, just to go off, just to have that moment, okay, I get it. But if you're trying to come back to a full in-ring return, nah, don't do it, Mark. Like you don't need your body taking that type of beating, abuse again. You already dealt with it once, plenty of times. You man, stay retired, bro. Enjoy retirement.
That's true, but even wrestlers who get old and retire say they have nothing outside wrestling, and this is all they have. So that's why he wants to make a return for one more match.
If there's one more match, then I don't mind it. But
yeah, if he's in shape, but you see, at some point, yeah, you have to let it go and have to do something else. I mean, he's been on a podcast on Sirius XM, with Bubba Ray Dudley. I would just stick to that. What do you say?
I heard he's doing well.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So see, why would you want to come back and take more abuse? And the thing is, it's WWE. See, I don't think WWE is going to give you much to do at this point. So, I would just leave it. I would just leave it alone. Also, look at this. Fans are about to see a different side of ex-WWE star Mojo Rawley. So apparently, yeah, it says Rawley, real name Dean. Yeah. What'd you say?
I said I thought they could have did something with him. They could have did something with Mojo Rawley.
Personally, yeah, because he had a good build and had talent. Yeah, because see, it's like Zack Ryder. See, you got a diamond in the rough, but you won't polish it. So so you this, that, and whatever. But it says right here, Rawley, real name Dean Muhtadi. It's Muhtadi. Okay, that sounds like Indian or Israel in a way. Took to Twitter to tell fans that we're just 10 days away from seeing the real version of him. In other words, fans have been seeing a watered down version of his personality on WWE TV. The 10 days references the end of his 90-day non-compete clause. He was actually released in early March, and not with a large group of names that were released in April.
Oh wow.
Okay, well. Okay, yeah, he was on Lillian Garcia's podcast recently. Rawley expressed that he was unhappy with the creative direction for the Hype Bros.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. Also, quote, I wish I did know so I could fix the problem if there is one. The fact of the matter is there is a talented locker room. There's a lot of guys fighting for an increasingly limited number of spots. That's kind of been the path of my career. It's been very stop and go. The second I feel like now it's the time I'm going to get going, then boom, I disappear from TV for months. His future in pro wrestling is anyone's guess. Rawley is one of the names that was teased on Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary commercial. One would think that AEW is an option, but with so many names under contract, AEW is likely to be very picky on who they choose to sign, especially with names like Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, and Andrade being free agents. Oh, speaking of Daniel Bryan, real quick, Daniel Bryan is a free agent. I hope he signs with AEW because his face, or not his face, but the word yes came up also in the Impact Wrestling commercial. Because now, as far as faces in that commercial, you saw Mickie James, Samoa Joe, and some other ones. So they may. I would like to see. Now, personally, I would like to see Samoa Joe return to Impact Wrestling. That's where he was born anyway, where he came up. So that was his home. Mickie James not so much. But Mojo Rawley, I would like to see end up either there or Ring of Honor, if not AEW. But see, Mojo Rawley is someone who deserves to get to. He could be something special, like I said, given just like Aleister Black, given the right timing and the right, the right, I guess the right people to work with as far as wrestling, and he can wrestle because I believe he can talk too if you let him. Yeah. So, but look, Daniel Bryan, real quick, we gotta talk about him. Daniel Bryan, I think has all the cards. He hadn't been signed with WWE yet. That's a good thing. See, now, in AEW, Daniel Bryan would be the man, I believe. Because I believe he would have some good matches with some people in AEW. I'd like to see him, Daniel Bryan versus Kenny Omega as a main event. I think that would be a good main event for pay-per-view.
It's not like a gimmick thing where, their contract storyline allegedly ran out. It's an actual real thing. I mean, Daniel Bryan has expressed that he wanted to still be in the business. So if he wants to be in the business and he still wants to venture out, I say, more power to you.
Yeah. Now, if AEW is smart, please sign him. If anybody, if you don't sign anybody else, sign Daniel Bryan. I'd like to see him sign Samoa Joe as well, too. But say, everything, so like I said, see, AEW's roster, I think it's kind of full. That's why they're not going to sign too many ex-WWE stars. But like I said, if AEW were to sign Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan, that'd be awesome because that would put WWE in some serious trouble as far as the shows. Because then, and like I said, I saw a commercial where I think AEW is going to have a show Friday night against SmackDown. Think about that. You put Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe over there, WWE would stand a chance. They'd be in trouble because you'd have two of the best in the game. To me, you'd have two of the best in the game on AEW, and think about the matchups. Think about that: Samoa Joe versus Jon Moxley.
Too.
What's that?
Like, no, I'm saying if the needle moves, if somebody like a Daniel Bryan goes to like a different company, like if just by them being with a company and a company suddenly increases in popularity because of that person, oof, yeah,
the sky's the limit. But think about this: if you could get both Bryan and see, to me, the two hottest free agents are Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan, because Samoa Joe's young. See, Samoa Joe should have been a champion in WWE, and they put him in they put him at the table. They put him at the table in the announcer position, and he wasn't. He was a good announcer. He was good, but he should have been in the ring. I mean, I know he suffered injury, but I think he was good to go now by that time because he was on the commentary. I think for like 2 or 3 months.
I hate to say this, and it feels. I don't want to say it's insulting, but it feels insulting at the same time. I think WWE looked at Samoa Joe the same way they looked at Taz.
Yeah.
And remember, Samoa Joe and Taz did have a little thing going on for a while. I believe.
Yeah, in TNA. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, because it's like, because I remember when Taz first went on to the commentary booth, it just felt so weird to me. Like, it was just weird. I'm like, why is he commentating? This guy should be throwing people around. Like, what?
Right, yeah. Also, the thing is, I think at the time when Taz went to commentary, he had been injured and his neck was injured, so it was too dangerous. It was too dangerous for him to wrestle by that time anyway. So that's why he put him in commentary.
Him and Michael Cole are still my all-time favorite announcing team.
Yeah,
many people disagree with me, but I like those two on commentary.
Well, actually, yeah, they were the best at the time. They were the best since Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, or Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. Because to me, Gorilla Monsoon was the best that they had ever of all time. I mean, when it
depends on how old the person is.
Yeah, when it came to him and Bobby Heenan, they were hilarious because Bobby Heenan was the perfect heel who when he worked. The thing is, in real life, they were best friends because in the Hall of Fame induction, when Bobby Heenan was giving a speech, so they know he was crying. He was saying, he was sending a shout out to Monsoon, up in heaven, So, so the thing is, when it came to Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, when they would call matches, it was awesome because you had a baby face and he was the heel, and they were so funny. It was magical. And also even just as funny, him and Jesse Ventura, who were also good friends. That was magical and that was hilarious because Jesse Ventura says some off-the-wall stuff about people, and it was just funny. So basically, those two combinations were the most hilarious. So you're probably right. The best combination WWE had last as far as commentary was Taz and Michael Cole. Now Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler were also pretty good, but Jerry Lawler to me copied Bobby Heenan because he was funny, but I got kind of tired of woohoo puppies. After a while.
Would say certain things that would be funny, like certain phrases he would say would be funny, but not everything Jerry said was funny. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, that's just corny, but I understood it. But then they had coming back and saying, I remember the whole Tozawa thing,
Oh, that was just racist. I mean, to me anyway. I didn't like that at all.
I'm like, come on, dude, for real, this is where we're going.
Yeah, that's what it was, but it is what it is. So,
and it's crazy. They tend to have all these people who are good and talented at the commentary booth, but WWE seems to get rid of them for whatever reason. Makes no fucking sense to me. Like Jim Ross, the guy Jim Ross was great. Fired the dude like a whole bunch of times and brought him back. It still makes no sense to me. Then they had other people on commentary that were good and they just didn't last. But then they have this 3-man commentary team with a bunch of guys that you don't want to hear from. And they keep those guys there. And I'm just like, why? I don't know. It's WWE. It's their business at the end of the day. So it is what it is.
It might be their business, but you know what? It's bad business. It's terrible business. It's not a horse shit. Another thing you mentioned earlier, Uso being Roman Reigns' bitch. Like I said, that's just for the camera, because you know that their family, Yeah, no, because it's good acting. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm pretty sure he wouldn't treat him like that. You know what I mean? But also,
It
like I said,
kind of reminds me.
with his brother
It,
back, and trying to talk him out of it. See,
yeah.
no, you're right. That storyline is interesting because you can tell they're going to reunite, and he's going to get his brother to turn against Roman Reigns sooner or later. So, see, you can see it coming. See, it might come back. It might come by SummerSlam, and and think about this: they win the tag champs, and he loses the world championship. You know what I mean? So the roles can be like a reverse. But who knows? They can
But
mess it up to it.
it kind of reminds me
But
of some street shit. Like it reminds me of one of those street movies, like back in the day, like one of the hood movies back in the day.
yeah,
It kind of reminds me of that in a sense. You got one person trying to bring this kid in one direction, then you got this other person trying to bring this kid into another direction, and then the kid has to figure out where he wants to, where is he gonna go? Is he gonna go on the side and do good, or is he gonna stay and be with this, on the bad side? So I kind of like what they're doing with the whole dynamic thing. I see bits and pieces from here and there that people may post on Twitter or whatever.
all right. I want to send a shout out to my homeboy Whooper in the chat. Yeah, I agree with you, buddy, and thanks. Anyway, well, like I said, anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really. I wish they would change the way the tag team title belts look, but that's really it.
True.
I wish
We got to touch on one more subject. Oh, Tamina and Natty as tag team champs. Your thoughts?
what? Wait,
Yeah,
they
you see
won?
that on SmackDown? Yeah, they won the tag belts. They beat
Oh,
Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler.
my
Tamina
girl
Snuka,
Tamina
after
finally
being
won the
there,
title, man.
yeah. Tamina Snuka, after being there for almost 10 years, it seemed like 10 years, they finally want to give her a belt. Wouldn't let her talk, wouldn't let her wrestle for the singles belt. And like I said, she's probably one of the greatest wrestlers they have there. Like I said, I mean, she's attractive, but she can wrestle. Unlike Wind Tunnel, unlike Eva Marie, which is coming back, unlike a lot of them there, unlike I got to mention this one who has replaced the Fiend's Playground, Alexa Piss. I call it Alexa Piss's Playground. That's what it is. Tamina can wrestle, but you wouldn't let her talk or give her a damn belt. But finally, you give her a belt with a tag team belt.
I thought they were gonna put the titles on her and Nia Jax. I would have loved that so much, but
Yeah, that should have been better. That'd been a better idea. But then again,
yeah,
like I said,
and
go
Natty,
ahead.
okay, I get it, and I think Natty deserves a championship too because she's been with the company for a long time, and they tend to overlook her a lot. So
Yeah,
to me, and Natty, okay, I can respect that. I love that. Let's just hope
yeah,
we
I
don't
can
have to
too.
wait
Yeah,
another 10 years for them to win a title. Just saying.
true. Yeah, and see the reason why they keep Natty is because, like I said, because of the family lineage, the family bloodline. Like I said, that's Bret Hart's niece. So I think they're just keeping her around just to do a favor, or because hey, she's Brett's niece, the Anvil's daughter, yada yada yada. I mean, she's a product of the Hart Foundation in a way, you know. So, and also I've heard him talk about bringing David Boy Smith's son back too. So see, and then Tyson Kidd, he's basically a backstage producer. So
Yeah, I heard Tyson Kidd got injured, so he can't
yeah,
wrestle
he
anymore.
retired. Yeah,
Uh,
he's still in shape though because I've heard he's been in ring training he trains people, helps
yeah,
trains people.
of course.
But yeah,
He probably
that is,
trained Eva Marie.
I don't think anybody can train Eva Marie. I'm sorry, I'm just saying I don't
Right.
care how
If
you try how much you train her.
if Brian Kendrick can't help you, I don't know. I don't know. If
I
Brian
remember that.
Kendrick
Yeah,
can't
I
help
remember the
you,
footage. I saw the footage of her trying to train Eva Marie, but I'm saying it's Eva Marie. I mean, just the way she moves.
and then she looked like she got work done on her face. I don't know if it was because of the camera angles. She looked like she got work done on her face
Oh, she
when
had
her
work done
face.
on her face before she left, but I think she probably had some more work done on her face. I mean, I think her face is pretty much 80%, 90% plastic now,
Yeah, I
especially the
believe it.
nose and the cheeks and everything. She's probably, and I'm thinking the whole
Yeah,
body now. So she's looking a little more stranger than usual. But that's how it is. The only thing she hasn't done is her lips yet, and God help her if she just try to do her lips, with some collagen. That's gonna look ugly. I'm just saying.
yeah.
I remember I saw a post on YouTube. It was even one of Eva Marie's matches in NXT when she first came out. I watched the show like this is terrible. I mean, she is like there's no oomph, no enthusiasm, or no movement or nothing at all. I mean, it's just all you have is that body and eye candy or the looks in the face, and that's it. And see,
She
that only
don't
gets
even
you so far.
really have that anymore, though. I mean, she looked just as bad as Carmella. I mean, Carmella looked like she'd been getting a whole bunch of work done too.
Yeah, Carmella's another one. Yeah, can't wrestle. Notice ever since she came back, her angle went nowhere. That whole untouchable bullshit. The black dude left her for Nia Jax. So, and she's basically been almost non-existent all this time. So, what the fuck did she really come back for? I mean,
Just say Sasha Banks for the women's championship, and that was really it.
and that never
That
panned out because she didn't win the belt.
was
They gave it to Bianca Belair, which rightfully so. Bianca Belair deserved, since she's a harder worker and a better wrestler than Carmella.
ever will be. Let's add
That's
that.
for sure. Yeah,
Let's
well,
add that.
Bianca Belair, I think is going to be great. She moves great and she's entertaining and she can talk, so she's great. You know what I mean? But Eva
And she's
Marie,
young too.
to me, Eva Marie basically with those those promo skits, or not skits, but those promo vignette or segments. The best thing for Eva Marie to do, either become a stripper in Vegas or showgirl in Vegas, or just and you know what, Vivid is always looking for new blood, because Vivid is always looking to hire ex divas. So see, I think she would fit. I think she would fit perfectly in a Vivid porno. So that's where she should go. And I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon would vouch for her.
Oh man,
because she's got the face, the body, and probably the mouth for it.
probably.
But, yeah. I always say that's what I always say. I used to say about a lot of them on another show. I'm pretty sure Eva Marie, she can't wrestle or shit, but I'm pretty sure Eva Marie has strong knees, and I bet she could suck a mean dick. So just something to think about, Eva. You know what I mean? Something to think about.
Oh my god.
But being that as it may, you want to wrap this up now, or?
Yeah, we definitely can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, this has been a good show. Good topics. A good discussion. I want to thank everybody in the chat for watching and coming out. Our brother Melendez, Hooper, Shermelo Scott, NY Finest. Like I said, and once again, a shout out to Kid Stacy, who should be back with us soon. Next time we go live. See, when I go live with a purpose. Unlike the special ed retard class I can mention,
Oh yeah. It was a video you wanted to do too. I meant to ask you about that. It was a live you did on Facebook. You said you wanted to talk about a video.
Oh, this is a video I'm doing by myself. I'm gonna do it by myself. Okay. It's a different. It's a personal subject. Has to do with racism. So that's something I'm doing by myself. I'm not gonna lie for that one. That's something because I'm gonna be reading some articles, so it's gonna take a while. So
Okay.
I
just seen a live thing, and I seen the end, and they said you wanted to talk. You was talking about something.
Okay. Yeah, but it was. This has to do with racism. But that's something that's gonna be pre-recorded. I'm gonna do that soon enough. So, but like I said, and when I mentioned the special ed retard class, they know who they are. I'm not saying no names, but they know who they are. Like I say, you got a bunch of young kids, young brat kids going live talking about basically nothing all the time, and they basically go live at 2 or 3 times a day. I'm like, what the hell? Do you have a life? Do you have anything better to do? See, that's why when I go live, I have a job. You have a job. Kid Stacy has a job. Probably we have lives outside this. So see, when I go live, it's for the purpose. It's for the message and the purpose. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit on here for 8 hours and just ramble on about bullshit incoherently like some people do. So on that note, like I said, once again, peace and blessings to the chat. And we'll see you again. All power to the people.